Buster! Sorry. My bad.
I used to focus only on hurts. I had many gifts, but I was my own curse. But hold up, wait a minute, stop that. I need to focus on now, not that.
Get your mind right and your money tight.
What's going on, people? This is What We Thinking. And I'm one of your hosts. Influence, and to the right of me, we have, as usual, Bryce.
Yes. Hello.
What up?
What's up?
Coolin'. What's going on with you this week?
I don't know if I mentioned this. Did I mention this last podcast? Working on eating low carb. Eating
low carb.
Keeping my carb intake low. Trying to keep it right now for me starting off, because I try to do less than 30 carbs a day, which is harder, you know, for me starting off. So I moved it up to 100. But it's still progress, because I realized I was eating a lot of carbs before, like not even thinking about it.
Carbs.
So, and I feel like
Sugar.
I look in the mirror, my face is slimmer, and a couple people told me I lost weight. So it's working, and I feel better.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Want to feel better. Nah, I've been, it's Thanksgiving yesterday, so that was great. Got to eat some stuff. I don't know if anybody celebrates Thanksgiving out there, but if you do, happy Turkey Day.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And I think that's it. That's all that's been going on. I've been working. Decorated the house today for Christmas. One of my favorite holidays. And that's it. That's all I've been doing. But there's been big news happening in the music world. We might as well just jump right into it. Kendrick Lamar is back with another album. I was about to say Drake. I mean, it is kind of Drake, but Kendrick is back. Sometimes you gotta pop out and sue Nick. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, but yeah, Kendrick dropped the GNX album. How you feel about that album?
It's good. It's like it's interesting. It's a good album. It's entertaining. It's something that keeps growing on me.
True.
It keeps growing on me, you know. I'm enjoying the Squabble Up video. This, you know, and this also has made me go back and like go through all his older projects too. And which to me, the album Damn is his best album as far as like listening experience, and it's the one I enjoy the most listening to. There's no skips on there. I only didn't listen to Loyalty and Love because I just wasn't in the mood to hear those songs.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, those are good songs.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs on there.
Which one?
Loyalty.
Okay.
Yeah, but I feel you. I didn't go back and listen to any of his albums. I always tell you his albums don't have replay value for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I have no idea. Like, I still think they're classic albums, except for Good Kid, Mad City. Good Kid, Mad City, I used to bump, but I think that's why I don't want to really listen to it a lot now, because when it first came out, I used to play it back to back all day, every day, which is what I do to music. I bury it. I'm like the radio when I find good music. But yeah, this album though, yeah, it's interesting. I didn't like everything on here, and I still don't, but I listen to it, and I don't know if that's ever happened before. Like, it's been a lot of firsts for me with this album. The other first is actually liking, like I told you, I like Tyler's album better than this album. I told you that. And that's not saying that this album is bad. It's not saying that it's not. It's far from bad. But I just do. I still do. I still like it better. But this album has grown a whole lot on me. But this is the first time I'm like, yo, my musical taste might be changing because this is the first time I would listen to I guess an album that's has less hip hop P type, less rapping. Let me put it that way. Less rapping than another album. Like I would always pick the album that had more rapping on it for me. But this is like the first time in my life I picked the album that has less rapping on it, and I like it more, which is Tyler's album. But yeah, I mean, we're here to talk about. We talked about Tyler last week though, so I don't want to get too much into that, especially comparisons, because I don't want to take away from his album. That's my opinion, but I still think this album, GNX, is a great album. I really, really like. There's a couple songs on his album that I think are some of his best songs.
Really?
Yeah. And
like what?
What's it called? Man, what's that called?
At the Garden?
Yeah, Man at the Garden, I think is one of his best songs. Even I don't know. I would say I was looking at Squabble Up. Like, I don't really like that song, but I recognize how catchy it is. I recognize how the sample's dope. I recognize the beat's dope. It was just something about the song. It's an unorthodox song. So there's been times in my life where I like songs like that, and there's times when I didn't, and I told you I didn't like Not Like Us either when it first came out. But I think that's a very, very good song. Like, I think it's a very good radio, but not radio song, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But what other songs stand out? Not that this is one of his best songs, but Reincarnated stands out to me, of course. Tupac's one of my favorite artists, and Made Niggas is one of my favorite songs from Tupac. That and Pain, I think if somebody samples them, it's just gonna be automatic for me. Even if it's just a beat. But I love what he did. Like, he made no bones to what he was trying to do. And I think it was basically like a fuck you. Like, this is how you do a Tupac song without using AI and without doing, without all the bullshit. Like, this is what you do. If you want to do it, like rap like him. And even though I listened to it today, and he has the inflections of him, but it's his style. Like, it's still him. And I think that's unique. And of course it's his lyrics. He didn't take no lyrics. I struggled though. I listened to the whole thing today, like really close. I struggled to know what he's talking about in that song. Like, really? I don't know if he's talking about himself or because I know he's talking about different things on the 3 verses, but the last verse sounds like he's talking about himself.
Well, what I get from it is all of it is about himself. What he's saying is in past lives, he was this person in the first verse, he was this person in the second verse, and to where he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get that he was saying I knew he was saying he was reincarnated, but I wasn't sure if he was talking about. I understood that he was talking about like it was somebody's past life, but I wasn't sure who that person was that he was talking about. I may be looking at it too deeply, but it seems like to me it's a specific person that he's saying reincarnated into him. But I don't know what that who that person is. I'm not sure if it's Tupac. If the first one, I think maybe the first verse he might be talking about Tupac, but I'm not sure the other verses like what person he's talking about. That's what I mean. Like, it's a specific person. Like, you can tell. Oh shoot, you can tell like with what he's saying that, or it sounds like to me that it's a person. It's a specific person. A real person. like you know, not just these are my traits that I had in this last life. Like that's what I mean. Like I struggled to know what person he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
and I didn't know if all 3 verses he was talking about Pac being reincarnated into himself, or if it's different people in every verse.
I don't think any of it is Pac. The first one is not Pac because he talks about when his father kicked him out of his house in 1947 in Michigan. So I don't think that's Pac.
Yeah, and I need to look that up to see who he's talking about, because that's what makes me when he said that. That's what makes me think, like, not Pac, but makes me think, you know, somebody specific.
I was thinking
that I don't know.
At first, I thought Jimi Hendrix, but then I thought Chuck Berry. The second one I've heard someone say it was Billie Holiday.
They say in Detroit, Michigan, 1947, the McGee family was kicked out of housing opportunities because they purchased a home in a whites-only neighborhood due to racism. Their story led to the landmark Shelley versus Kramer case in the Supreme Court in 1948. So they're saying he might be talking about that. Because the other theory that people were saying with this album, I know I told you, and I kind of believe it, I can't find a list still, was that every song was a homage to a rapper that he admires and you know, likes. And like Reincarnated was Tupac, of course, and Man at the Garden was Nas, because it was basically like one mic. The rest of them, they had like Keek the Sneak, what's his name? Keek the Sneak. I know motherfucking Bay Area people gonna fucking kill me. Like, I can't find the list right now, but I thought that was an interesting theory. And what the dude said, I don't know enough about some of the people that he was naming, because it was a lot of West Coast people early on. I knew a few of them, but I thought that was an interesting theory. What else stood out to you with the album?
Gloria. And so that was fun because I thought he was talking about a woman until the end. That kind of blew my mind, and then I had to listen back to it again. You know, so that was cool. TV off. Like I felt like I liked it first listen, appreciate it, and as far as the full album, it's like I can appreciate it more, you know, the more I listen to it. And I noticed that, like you said, we was listening to Chromacopia by Tyler, the Creator, but when this came out, you know, GNX, it's a different tone.
Yeah, you said that.
It's a different tone, and
no, it definitely is. Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying when I was, you know, when I said that it is the first time that I ever like wanted to listen to a less toned. I don't know how to explain it, but it, you know, it definitely has less rapping on Tyler's album. Mm-hmm. I mean, he be spitting, but he has a lot of other stuff on there too, and it definitely is a switch. And it took me a minute to switch back, but then when I went back, I was fine. Like I could, you know, I could go back and forth depending on my mood. But I think that's probably why I didn't like this album at first. Didn't like it. I didn't like a lot of the songs. I like 5 songs. Then I like more. Like then I started listening to it more. Then I listened to it in the car, and like at first, like GNX is probably one of the songs that I said I didn't like in the beginning. But now, and what's funny about that song is I don't really like his verse. I mean, it's not long. He only has a little bit in there, but I like the other guys' verses. Like, I just like the way they sound. And I don't even know who it is because I don't have the lyric. I don't have the linear notes or nothing. So I don't even know who those people are, but I know a couple sound familiar. And
Whacked Out Murals.
Yeah, Whacked Out Murals is that's the song I listen to all the time. Like that's the song I'll go back to, and I think is some of his best work.
TV off.
Turn the TV off. Turn the TV off.
Squabble Up. That video, that song definitely grew on me, and I dance to it now.
Yeah, Squabble Up. I didn't, like I said, I didn't like it at first, but then I saw the video, and the video made me like it. Made me like it more.
And then the Heart Part 6, the beat, the music.
Yeah, the Heart series I always love.
And it's a couple joints on here like Lou here that get you looking at other stuff. Like I listened to If This World Were Mine. It had me, singing the original song. I went back to the SWV's Use Your Heart, after listening to the Heart Part 6, and then I thought about like Kendrick's relationship with Pharrell, and was that an easy clear because of that, and that
you did say that.
Yeah. And that the Neptunes, before they became big and really known, I didn't know who they were at the time, but they wrote and produced Use Your Heart by SWV, which is my favorite, always been my favorite SWV song. I felt like they was telling me something, And I felt as a teenager, like I felt touched by that song, and like them singing that. Especially my favorite part, the whole song is great. My favorite part, and I don't know her name, but the lady that sings the part that's at the end.
Yeah, I like the Heart because I like that it's basically a love letter to TDE.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I like that. I like that he he takes accountability in there as far as why some shit ain't work. And I think that's dope.
I like that he said that he wanted to rap like Ab Soul.
Yeah, he said that and it's funny, that happens, you hear that a lot. Like I've heard other rappers say that, like being in the studio with other people, and they're like, dang, I wish I could do that. But they was nice too, but they're looking at it like from a skill perspective and maybe a lyrical perspective and something else. Because I heard Joe Budden say that before about like Royce and Crooked Eye. Like I try to do that shit, but that ain't me. Like I can't do that syllable, like that exact syllable shit. He's like, that ain't what I do. Cool to hear when a rapper says that, and you really believe him.
He said he took notes. He said something like he took notes.
Yeah, it probably helped his writing out. Like not copying. And that's what you do. Like that's inspiration. And that's what happens. Ain't nobody just get it out the air. Like people would be like, well, they sound like this a little bit. Well, they probably were inspired by him.
To say, like when we was talking about Kendrick's older albums, and I said, damn, is like the best listening experience. Like, damn, is really good. Like, but that doesn't take anything away from the other albums to me, because as I was saying to you, like I look at it now like maybe that's because what he's talking about on the other albums, To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City, Miss Morale, and the Big Steppers, maybe that's not going to be pleasurable to listen to. Maybe it's not the easiest thing to make those things pleasurable to listen to, but they're important.
Yeah. Yeah. See, Good Kid, Mad City will probably always be my number one album, even after this album. I just don't think he'll capture that type of essence again. I don't know though. I mean, I can't say that. That was a concept album, and I think that was another thing. I've always been obsessed with concept albums. And from way back when I first started realizing what they were, and I can't remember I'm trying to think of the first concept album. I think that came up before but I can't remember the first concept album that I heard. But I just always was obsessed with. I think because I've always been obsessed with cohesive albums. I don't know if it's the time I've came up in, because people would make cohesive albums. They would set out to make an album, and everything would work with everything else. It wasn't just a bunch of singles thrown onto thrown onto one album just because you got a bunch of songs now. Okay, let's just put it all on an album. Like people's albums these days sound like compilation albums, and it's weird. I still like some people's albums, but they sound like compilation albums to me. And I don't know, I can't remember if other albums were sounding like that at that time, but when that came out, it was just like, damn, like this is going through his day, basically going through a day of what's going on in LA.
Do you think that are there was it just about this is great, or was it also you connected with the album because of your life experiences?
No, I mean, I'm not from LA, so I didn't connect with those life experiences at all. He connected it to me, through the album. Like, he made it connect.
Okay.
Because, I've never been in a gang. I've never dealt with gang culture. I never had to navigate my surroundings in that manner that you do in LA when growing up, especially back then. I don't know. I know a lot of it's gentrified now. Like, Compton look beautiful, in places. And it's probably expensive as well too. I know a lot of LA is gentrified. But back then I couldn't just like watching Boys in the Hood. I couldn't relate to that, but they did a great job relaying it to me. So I think that's what it was with him. And there may be a few things in there that I could relate to in personal experience, but it wasn't a whole lot. But yeah, I just like the music and the way he put it together, and the whole, like, listening to it from beginning to end and it telling a complete story. It's just a fond memory.
When I first heard the album, I did like Tyler's album better. And I still might like Tyler's album. I do, as far as like the whole thing. It's no skips. I like the music better and all that. GNX, it's like when I first heard it, it's like I didn't like Squabble Up. I didn't like most of it.
Yeah.
And the tone is different from Chromacopia. It's like it felt like a more serious tone, especially with Whacked Out Murals. And but something kept bringing me back to it. And I think I've had this kind of experience before with albums where if I'm used to a different style or something different, then I go to it and then I'm not feeling it, So this has grown on me, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. You said you like GNX. I don't listen. That was the one that I felt like I wouldn't come back to. Mm-hmm. But
yo, I like that shit.
But even Peekaboo, like I it's like
Peekaboo is one that I probably don't listen to.
Yeah, I don't really. That. But like,
I don't know why. I listened to the whole thing and it was all right. Like, it wasn't that much of, I wasn't appalled at it. Mm-hmm. But I I just rather not listen to it.
I'm enjoying the album. I think I had a lot to say about Tyler's album because I really enjoyed it, and hopefully I can get back to it. You know, like I really enjoyed it. I really noticed a lot of things about it. I really enjoyed a lot. Like I felt a lot. Like, you know, but this is a little different for me because, like I said, I like that whole album. This I can't say I like the whole album, but it is a good album.
Mm-hmm.
I am enjoying it. It is capturing me, you know. I started liking Squabble Up when I saw the video. I started liking that more, and I like it, you know, even more now. So it's an album that's growing on me and that it's entertaining me. And I'm still living with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm still living with it. I mean, I still go back to it. Like today, I had Tyler, when I got in the car, Tyler was on, and I turned it to GNX, and I went right to what I went to. Man in the Garden. I went right to that song, but I just love hearing. I don't know. I love hearing Black Man say, "I deserve it all."
Yeah,
like I love hearing him say that with conviction, and I believe that he believes it, and I love that. You know, somebody can feel that way. Like I have no type of animosity. I know other people might, depending on what type of character you are, might be like, he's not humble. You know what I mean? Don't be humble, bitch. Like, don't be humble. You don't need to be humble. There's enough people in this world that will try to humble you. Like, don't, you know, you ain't gotta be an asshole, but you ain't gotta be humble. Like, don't humble yourself. There's enough people in this world that will try to do that to you. So I love hearing him say that shit. Cause that's how I feel. And
I mean, what I took from that is like when I initially heard that, I'm like, yo, I feel this. Like, this is a great mantra. Like, this is something I want to listen to like for myself. You know, like for like a good mantra for myself to make me feel good, for my mental, for my mind state. You know.
yeah.
I felt that immediately when I listened to that. Like, yeah, this is good to listen to.
So let's turn to what's up with your boy Drake. What you thinking about him? I don't know if anybody is under a rock and don't know that he is suing UMG, which is his label. I mean, Universal Music Group is everybody's label, but they own so much. I said that the other day. I was like, you can sue anybody in the music industry, and you're probably suing UMG. So I don't know what that is, but yeah, he's suing for defamation, and he's suing. What's the other lawsuit? Ain't there another lawsuit saying that they are? I mean, it's two different suits. The one suit is defamation for what Kendrick said. It's wild. It's wild to me. It's wild. It's just wild because I've never seen this in. I don't think that anybody's ever seen it in. I don't know if we've ever seen it in music, like defamation from something in a song. But I mean, who knows? He could possibly win that. It don't mean that, you know. I like to say. I always like to say two things can be right at the same time. One is him being a bitch and being right. Like, as far as I'm actually talking about the second lawsuit saying that it was payola pushing Like Us, not Like Us, and that's how it got so popular. Now he's right. Like, he's right as far as payola pushing the song, because payola pushes every song that's on the radio. Like, that's what happens. payola is a illegal thing. It's when people pay to get into rotation. Costs like $3,000 to get your song on the radio, and then in rotation, it costs money to keep it in rotation. And they're called promotional fees and all this other stuff, but it's payola. Basically, you're paying. Matter of fact, I think Power 105 just lost a lawsuit from payola. Somebody sued them about payola, and it was found out that they've been doing it. I mean, every radio station does it. It might not be the people there, but there was actually people tied to it that they could bring back and say, because I know Ebro said they pride themselves, their show, they don't take money to play people radio. That's why he'd be like, fuck y'all, I don't need your record. Like, I don't gotta play your record. Which that's how it should be. It should be off merit. Now, would that have gotten play anyway? I think it would have. Would it have became popular? I think it would have, regardless of payola. But again, that's why I said two things can be right at once. Drake could still be wilding and a Karen, and the other thing is that he is right. Well, what do you think about? Well, I guess the lawsuits and him bringing the lawsuits.
Will he still have a career after this? Will he still be able to come back after this? I remember you said, he still has a fan base.
I was saying, I understand what you were saying though. Mm-hmm. I do understand what you were saying. I definitely think his career is changed 100%.
Because, like, honestly,
whether it's over or not, I don't know, but it's definitely changed.
Because honestly, like, even though at the time I commended what J. Cole did, if I'm being honest, it did affect how I looked at him, like, as far as like the big three conversation and, where he ranked and all of that. And even like, it does affect that. Like, because now I think of the best, and I think of Kendrick. Kendrick said, and I think of Tyler too. I think of Tyler at that number 2 spot. But like, Kendrick said on the album, ain't no other kings in this rap thing, I don't know if I fully agree with him, because I think Tyler is with this album is like, is getting there or right there, but Kendrick is the king, but yeah, Cole, I don't look at him the same, and Drake from the battle, don't look at the same, and then like the output, what he's put out after the battle, it's just not looking like he's there,
No, I think he's definitely not there. I think he should have just relaxed, went away, took his L.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And chilled for a minute.
Put out something,
and then put out something later. And then put out something.
Put out something crazy.
Yeah, something that I think if he would have did that, it would have been fine. It would have been fine. I mean, he still would have got, people on the internet, like every post, somebody's underneath it saying something about Kendrick, which I understand that can get to you, but still, I don't think it had to go here.
But I think, and now there's this, like, he's going to be looked at like, oh, like, the perception may be like, he lost the battle so bad that he sued, like, or like, but I kind of, from a business standpoint, I can understand it. I can understand the defamation suit.
Well, the defamation suit I can understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. It's the payola shit, which is true. Mm-hmm. It's true, but it doesn't make it any less crazy. Like, because everybody has to deal with it.
Yeah, but the thing is,
everybody
like,
does, and he's benefited from it in the past.
Yeah, but
that's the other thing.
But somebody may say, so what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, it's wrong. It shouldn't be, but everybody deals with it. Everybody in the music industry deals with it. Like, why now you all of a sudden, because you lost a battle, you're going to be like, oh, well, he got
So if you're in
with the same shit, like you got it too. Hotline Bling, they did it for you. They paid the motherfucking radio station. Would that have blown up without it? Maybe. But guess what? There's no way to get on the radio these days. That's why I don't know indie people get on the radio, because you have to pay a whole bunch of money to get in these spots. And like he's benefited from it tremendously. It's the same people. Like, they've done the same shit for all the artists, like everybody. They that's what they do. And now you're going to sue. The defamation suit, I understand. Like I said, I still wouldn't go there, because I mean, it's a battle. People say shit all the time that ain't true in battles. People were saying the other day, so Dre really got fucked with no Vaseline? Like, you know, and they were like, they said something in Ether and in Takeover, and they was talking about Rakim. They was going back. They were like, yo, people always, it's an artistic thing. Like, now I can understand him being upset when you got 80 million people screaming you're a pedophile. And,
So,
you know, I can understand why you're mad. Like, I can understand why you're mad, but
and you
I don't know.
said, like, people say, did this really happen to such and such Dr. Dre? So what if one day down the line, years down the line, they say, oh, is he really this? Is he really a pedophile? You know, so maybe through this, if he wins, he can get that, you know, like, edited. He can, like, affect history that way, to where, like, it's not out there like that, you know.
I know one thing he better hope he ain't got nothing in his past, because they gonna dredge all that shit up. If he even close to having anything in that of that nature, because that's part of the judicial system, and you got to prove that it's not real. So, or defense, I should say. I don't know. Well, it's a civil. It's a suit. So I don't know how that works. I don't know how the definition works.
Because Cardi B won her suit against the lady who was saying stuff about her that wasn't true.
Yeah, that's what defamation is. Anytime you say something about somebody that ain't true, you can get sued for defamation. If a person wants to sue you for
But the overall context is like, this is a rap battle, and Drake said stuff about Kendrick.
Yeah, Kendrick could countersue. Like, if that shit ain't true, you know, if it ain't true. That's the thing. Like, you gotta have ironclad that it's not true.
I know I don't know Kendrick, but Drake was saying that, and he either seemed misinformed or he was purposely doing it, where he said Kendrick said he got molested in the song when he didn't say that, because it was war. It was war. Drake was saying the stuff. He went there, and Kendrick went where he went, and he won.
Yeah.
And I don't believe Drake is a pedophile.
Yeah.
But I can see how it can be damaging.
Yeah, I mean, and he's done some stuff that's close to it. So that's what's funny about it too. So I'm like, oh man, like it gets a lot when you start going to court. But that's what it is. He wants to take it to court, and I don't know what his end game is in this, because I don't know if he wants to get the song taken. Like, it's done. Like, the history is the history. He's not going to erase the history. I can understand, and this is why I'm saying this, because I don't think Drake is just doing this because he's, you know, like, oh, I want to clear my name. I don't want that out there. I think he's doing it for a reason, like to get the song off, like, of anything, for I don't know what they would make him do. They would probably make him edit it, which he would probably edit it anyway. He probably edit it and make it funnier. like knowing Kendrick, I would. That's what I would do.
Some people speculate that he wants to keep it from being played at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to hear it at the Super Bowl.
I don't think that's gonna matter because, well, I don't know. I guess the judge could make any stipulations that they want. But I was gonna say they're not gonna make a stipulation to take the whole song down. It's probably gonna need to be edited, because in a lawsuit it has to be specific stuff in court. In the court documents. Now, if he says everything in the song, like if he just put more, if people are just conflating the issue and saying he's just talking about the pedophilia, but maybe everything, maybe he's named this part where it's so much that he would have to change the whole song or take it down. That could happen. I don't know, because I don't know what's in the court documents. I know everybody goes to the pedophile part. But it's just a defamation suit. So it has to be named like what parts are in here that is not true. So maybe he named the whole song. Like maybe he went down the line and was like, this, he said this, this ain't true. He said this ain't true. He said this ain't true. If he did that and he wins, then yeah, he would have to take that whole song down or re-record it. And I don't know. I mean, Kendrick probably would just to do it.
But you know what?
Just because, but
you know what? I want to listen to that song again and see if Kendrick specifically said Drake is a pedophile. Because now that I think about it, when Drake talked about Kendrick's wife, he said, "I heard one of them little kids might be Dave Freeze." He didn't necessarily say that is true.
Yeah,
and so. Maybe he didn't, and technically, maybe he didn't say anything that was false. Maybe he just said, "I heard this. It's hearsay." But so now I want to listen to not like yo specifically said that, because even that's trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor. That's kind of alluding, but
I mean that's not defamation. Like that could be defamation.
I don't know. I'd have
the pedophile line would have to be one of the things. That
so is it direct? Is it really direct? He say certified certified lover boy, certified pedophile. That is untrue.
I mean, it depends on. I mean, you don't know if it's untrue. That's the thing. He's saying there's paperwork.
That would be known.
But he wasn't talking about. Well, they don't have to be. They could cover that up.
I thought that had to be made public.
I mean, you could go on the site and try to look it up and see if, but there's ways they can suppress that. But he was talking about his boy too. Like, I think dude did get arrested for fucking with kids.
No, but in that specific line, he's saying.
No, he said certified. Yeah, he said certified, but he don't never say Drake's name.
He says Drake's name in the song.
No, he says it in the song, but he don't say it right there. He just say certified lover boy, certified pedophile. So
I mean, listen to it.
It's all.
But it's against. It's not even against Kendrick. It's against the record company for promoting the song, calling him a pedophile.
Is the defamation suit against the record company too?
And something one of them has to do with Spotify too, and also. I keep hearing.
I thought the defamation suit was against Kendrick personally.
No, and also,
then
I keep hearing that these aren't suits yet. They're was petitions the word?
Probably they're petition to file suits, basically suits though, because that's what you gotta do before you can go take a lawsuit.
Because it was like first thing was like. All right, we want to find out information. We want to gather this information. We want to keep them from destroying certain information. And I was heard that's like to build a case. To find out and to build a case. So
See, I gotta really look because everywhere it's saying he filed the lawsuit,
Mm-hmm.
the defamation. So, I mean, you do have to petition the court first because they have to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have to look at it and say, in a petition filed on Monday in New York Supreme Court, company managed by Drake, Frozen Moments LLC, accused UMG and Spotify of engaging in a scheme to ensure Not Like Us broke through on multiple streaming platforms. Yeah, that's basically a lawsuit. He filed a petition.
Yeah, I heard it was like, I heard that he was saying that they did that purposely.
A second petition was filed alleging defamation, claiming that the label could have stopped the release of Not Like Us, which falsely accuses him of being a sex offender.
Wow, this is totally out of the realm of the rap battle.
Yeah, I know my homie Xavier from Ice Cream Convos, go check her out. She was like, his mom's side coming all the way through with the lawsuits.
But you know what? Like,
I said, yo, that's wild. Like, no, nobody in hip hop, we barely call the cops if something happens to us. Like, that's just what it is. People, I don't even understand it. I mean, I understand it from, the history of police, but yeah, there's just like something that goes on. I mean, I know people, me personally too. My house could get robbed. I wouldn't call the cops, depending on what was taken. If it was like big shit that I wanted back, and I may call them, and I'm standing outside and waiting for them, and letting them know that I'm the homeowner. Like it's a whole big thing. Like I ain't even going there for that. But so this in hip hop is just unprecedented.
yeah,
Especially
it's
in the hip hop
unprecedented,
battle.
But like for me, it's like there's different ways of looking at it. Like that song, maybe having real life ramifications.
You did one of my numbers.
On Drake. And who knows? I don't know what he's going through. On his business.
I couldn't. I mean, personally, I couldn't imagine somebody, like I said, had 80, I say 80 million, but it might not be that much. I say 80,000. 80,000 people saying you a pedophile. Like at a stadium concert, 60,000 people, and he rocking that concert. Like the concert he put on. Man, I can't imagine how I would feel and what would be going through my head.
And I wonder if it's more specifically about business too, because what I heard is that he's saying that he was in negotiations to get even more money in a new deal than his old deal, and he's alleging that UMG purposely pushed this song so he would lose the battle. So if they didn't want to give him the more money that he wanted, he couldn't go somewhere else and get it. His value wouldn't be like as it was before.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think he's reaching. So, I mean, it's definitely true that his value's down, and he probably wouldn't be able to. But I don't know if I think that's the byproduct of all of this, and maybe not them purposefully pushing a song I think they would have did all of that regardless. Like they would have did everything they did regardless. Now I'm not saying it's right. Like I'm not saying any of that situation is right with any artist. Like payola shouldn't be a thing. But unfortunately it is, and it's forbidden to talk about. Like radio stations ain't gonna talk about it because I think even bringing it up is like forbidden. Like they could get sued for even saying it or whatever, even though they participate in it. But yeah, I definitely, if his career wasn't Like the thing that I don't understand is I think it's a misstep. Regardless of everything that you said, I think it's a misstep because if that's truly why he's doing it, he surely ain't got the power now. He surely ain't got the negotiating. You know, I don't know if he's trying to get a big payday, maybe. Maybe he's trying to get trying to recoup whatever he was trying to get. And maybe he's hoping that if they side in his favor, they'll order them to pay whatever monies that he was trying to get before. I don't know. Or I don't know what type of restitution they would have to pay or how much he's suing for. Maybe they haven't gotten to that part yet, or they just didn't release it publicly. But I just know this is a terrible look. Like, this is a terrible look, regardless of whatever the reason is.
Yeah, because of the way it looks, it makes me wonder if he could still continue successfully in music.
Yeah. I think he still has fans. I think he still could, but it definitely, my thing was, could he take where he is on the ladder now? Because it seems like he can't. Like, can he deal with damn near being an indie artist? I don't know. He may still, I'm sure he's not commanding as much for shows as he used to, but he's probably still getting a lot more than other artists, like, other artists in the industry. Not Kendrick, but of course. Sorry, I didn't mean to take that shot. That was I guess a unmeditated. It wasn't premeditated, that shot. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't say, or I can say his career is done. The career that we knew is done. I think that's done. Now, if his career is totally done, I can't say that, because for one, he still has diehard fans. I mean, I see people now still defending him. Like, even though, I don't know. Like I said, what we talked about, the business side and all of that, we can see. Like I said before, two things can be right at once. This could be wild as hell and not done in hip hop and a bad look for him, and it still could be the right thing. Like, he still could be right with what he's saying, but I just think it's damning. It's too damning. And I know I'm broken record saying I don't think his career would totally be done, but like I said, it depends on how he feels, how he can take it. Like, can he take being considered a lesser artist? Because that's what's happening now. Like, he's not on that pedestal that he once was. So can he take that? Can he just go on about his business and roll with it?
It's interesting because if he plays it a certain way, if he just comes his next
Oh.
Oh.
I was like, excuse me. You was like, it's just that's all I heard.
I didn't even know this. Because I feel better.
You thought you was just talking. You was like, blah, 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 blah.
I'm glad you caught that.
What is happening?
If he plays it a certain way, if his next project, if he's able to come out, legally and just speak the truth on how he feels about things, it could be interesting and entertaining, and
Yeah, I don't want to hear. I mean, that's me though. I don't listen to Drake like that anyway. But I'm sure diehard fans would still support him. I'm sure they would. I mean, I see it now. Now.
Let me see how you feel about this, because a lot of the times I think like, oh well, like Kendrick said, if you take it there, I'm gonna take it further.
Yep.
But Kendrick, from experience, may have known that that's where he takes it, and he still started with him.
And known, what do you mean?
Like, knowing that that's where Drake takes it. He takes it to the.
Oh, he did know.
Yeah,
I do think he knew that.
So it's like
Drake is well, he tries to be calculating, but I think he got outmatched in this battle, out calculated even. Kendrick was the one that was on top as far as the calculations and the moves that he made. Like usually Drake does that.
Yeah, we never seen Drake look that way before.
Yeah.
This battle.
I mean, even in the other battles, I feel like he lost. Like it wasn't like this.
Yeah, no.
Especially with the lawsuit, I think it just makes it look crazy. It makes it another thing because, like you said, and like I said, he could be right, but it's just the timing too. Like it just looks like he's saying, "Oh, I fucking lost. I'm going to sue." You know, it looks like it. That's what it looks like. That's the optics of it. I mean, and that very well could be what it is. But even if it's not that, even if it's what we was talking about, like the business defamation, you know, his kids. Like I wouldn't want my kids to be listening to a song where they calling their dad a pedophile. I can understand that, but in a rap battle, it is what it is. There's been some crazy shit said, and it just, I mean, people done got into it. People done got killed. People done almost got killed. I didn't want that to happen. However, it was a battle. They kept it on wax. They just went far as hell on wax. That's all. And I don't know, man.
Well, maybe, this is unprecedented that he sued, but maybe it's unprecedented that at this level, somebody is called or referred to as a pedophile on a song, and it has this level of damage to his business. So maybe like the circumstances never happened before.
Yeah, because this fall is farther than Ja Rule, like with the lawsuits and stuff, like the optics of it.
I don't know. I felt that way, but now I'm feeling like I don't know. Like he's still
it's that way, regardless of if you feel like he's right or you feel like he's trying to recover his business. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like the optics and how people are thinking is worse than Ja Rule. Like how people are looking and thinking and
I wasn't comparing him to Ja Rule, but I just feel like, as in ranking, like I may look at him different. Definitely.
See, I'm looking at it from I'm comparing him to Ja Rule because of like where Ja was before the battle and where he was after battle. Like that, like whatever that is, it doesn't erase the great music that they put out, that the people put out before, but you definitely see the difference in their career. And especially Ja Rule. Ja Rule just comes to mind because like 50 Cent tried to bury him, and he basically did. Like his career was never the same after that battle. Now, you can make an argument that he was still putting out music that was good. He was still putting out music that was catchy or whatever. Whatever the argument is, that's not the argument. The argument is that his career was definitely different after the battle with 50 from before the battle with 50. But that's the only reason I'm comparing him to Drake, because Drake was on that level before this battle, and he's now where he is after this battle. But then I think that was before the lawsuits. Like that was a comparison before the lawsuits for me. And now with the lawsuits, I just think he took it to a whole nother level.
We've seen Tekashi 6ix9ine put out music after his whole snitching situation.
Yeah, but it was never like it was before.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't be.
We've seen people say certain things about Gunna, and he's successful as far as Drake goes. Me personally,
and 6ix9ine, yeah.
I don't think yet.
Careers will never be back.
I don't think it's I wouldn't say versus Ja Rule. I wouldn't say that yet. I think it's yet to be shown. If he can't put out music no more successfully, then that'll be different. But I think right now, for me, if he comes out with something fire, if he comes out with anything, I'm gonna listen to it, see what it's doing. But if it comes out,
I don't even want to see it.
But if he comes out with fire, I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna enjoy it. Like if he plays it right. Like,
but that's the thing, though.
Because why look at him differently? They engaged in war. Things were said on both sides. Like, why? Kendrick has that line where he says,
I'm looking at
fuck anybody sympathetic.
Suing.
I mean, yeah, but you're not in his position to where.
I don't care. Like, it don't matter.
It does matter.
It don't matter to me.
If it's having real life ramifications on your businesses and on you, like,
yeah, but I don't care about that. Like, it don't matter. That don't matter to me. Like, that don't matter.
I don't know. That's
like,
I don't know. That's easy to say if you're not him.
No, it is easy to say.
And
but
so,
I'm telling you how it's perceived and how a lot of people are perceiving it. And you know, that's what I said. He still got core fans. So
now.
he's still gonna have people listen to him and buy his music. I don't want to hear shit from him.
I think the way it's affecting me is in hip hop, like in the ranking. Like as an artist, I'll still listen to J. Cole. He's not in the top for me right now. I said I didn't knock the way he handled it, but it changed how I perceived him, and I'm still gonna listen to him. And
see, at first but now it doesn't.
I may still say he's really good at this, or I might even say he's the best at this certain thing, but he's not the best overall, you know. But that's ironically that's how I viewed the big three. I didn't feel like anybody. I feel like when it came to Kendrick and Drake, you could say at certain times one or the other was the best at certain times. But I also felt like they were all good at different things, and none of them could really replace any of the other ones at what they were good at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
I still feel that way.
But like, I used to feel like Kendrick couldn't replace Drake with the hits and the.
I feel like the way the certain sound that Drake has.
Yeah, not that certain sound, but that
I don't think nobody can replace. Yeah, that.
No, you can't replace. Well, you can't. Kendrick can't do that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But
that's not big for me. So,
but
it don't.
He's doing what he's doing in the way that he's doing it, and it's working. Squabble Up is working, and that's a dance song.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if maybe I was wrong. He can't replace like you think. I think about stuff like No Guidance with Chris Brown. That song is fire. Like just hearing, like it's classic hearing that. And Kendrick, they can't. I'm not taking anything away from Kendrick saying that Kendrick can't do that. That's not in his bag. But I can say that Drake can't do what Kendrick does. You know?
Yeah.
So, I say all that to say that the only thing is, after the battle, the releases, what he did release, wasn't his greatest work. I'll say that. Wasn't his greatest work. But if he gets back in the studio and like goes Super Saiyan, as I've seen said about him before, like, and if he's able to still do that, I think I'm gonna be listening and I'm gonna be, I'll be able to enjoy it. Like, will I say he's the best? No, you can't say that no more. You can't, Cole. You can't say that no more. Now, the thing about Cole is, I know that song he put out where he said, "I wouldn't have lost the battle. I would have lost
a friend."
Yeah,
I think
some people was mad at him for saying that. I can understand why, but what he said is kind of true. Well, not true, but what I'm saying is we don't know. we don't know what would have happened if he would have continued.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, the thing, I look at it like, you know, I don't look at Cole. Like at first I did when it first happened. But now I don't know if it's because I did see how far the battle went. And I was like, yeah, he was right. Like he was like, and another thing, I was listening to what was it, 7 Minute Drill? Was that the song?
Mm-hmm.
The battle song that he had on the end of his album? Because I still got that album. Like I still got the full album because he took it off. But I was listening to that and I'm like, yeah, this was definitely not enough.
But the thing about it
to
is,
compete with,
even with that, is like Drake and Kendrick. To me, in my perspective, I know some people think, feel like, and it is good. Euphoria is good, but initially, at first, I felt I had them even, and I feel like I feel like the diss tracks from each of them elevated in quality. I felt like as watching the battle. Mm-hmm. So we don't know where he could have went.
And I hear that because I think Cole, I said all that to say that I didn't judge his battle skills off of 7 Minute Drill because I felt like when I was listening to it, I felt like he was just poking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like he was just poking. And I could see, like, it felt to me like I don't want to go here, but I gotta do something. That's what that song felt like to me. Like I don't want to go where I know people want to take it, but I'm gonna do this, and you can see, you know. I mean, I think the song as a whole, I don't really like the beginning beat. I like when it switches up, but it wasn't a terrible song, but you could see the response of it. And I definitely don't think it was in the same caliber as the other diss songs that was coming out. But I think he could have made a song in that caliber if he wanted to. And excuse me, him stopping was kind of like, this is what he said. Like, I don't know. It sounds to me like it's true.
Yeah, like
he did not want to go to this level, you know, against people that he felt like were his friends, or at least associates that he didn't have an issue with.
Against Kendrick.
Yeah, Kendrick or Drake.
Well, no, it wouldn't have been.
I don't think he would have.
Drake.
I mean, he might have if they all was battling.
But Kendrick and Drake were committed. And
yeah,
you can tell by 7 Minute Drill that he wasn't.
Yeah,
and as I heard him describe it, was it him? Yeah. Well, I heard somebody describe that 7 Minute Drill was a thing that him and his producer would do. Like, you know, basically it wasn't like a really prepared or like it wasn't like a full on taking this seriously. You know, it was kind of like a workout.
Oh yeah,
that's why it's called 7 Minute Drill.
Yeah, and I can see that. Like that's what it sounds like. It sounds like something that, you know, you just write. Like how I'm a jab at you. See, was, you know, like you just sparring. Like you sparring. It don't sound like you fight. That I'll put it that way. Like it sounded like he was sparring and they was fighting. Like they wanted to fight,
but like
and he wanted to slap box. Yeah. Like that's what it sounds like to me.
But you
like,
got to come out fighting. You got to come out swinging.
But that's the thing. I think
when Kendrick,
I don't think his heart was in it
like that.
Yeah, but I don't think his heart was in it. Like I don't think his heart was in it. Yeah. That's what he said. Yeah. And you know, I know people give him shit for that. Well, now I think the consensus is he was right, but I know people gave him shit about it in the beginning. It's funny though.
But you can't say you're the best. You can't. I mean, you know. And also, okay, look at that. That's real life ramifications. That's real life. All right, this is. I don't want to do this. That's real. Like this is not what I want to do. This is not what I want on my journey. Like
Yeah.
That's real.
And the
regardless of how people look at it, he did what was right for him. And so maybe Drake is doing what's right for him.
I mean, obviously he gotta be. Like, but I don't think that matters in people's, just like you said, people will look at that and look at it as a blemish. I don't.
In both cases,
I don't.
What, with Cole?
J. Cole, yeah, I don't. Like now.
Well, no,
now
like,
I don't.
That don't affect
I
his
used
ranking.
to.
That don't affect his ranking for you.
It don't. The only way it affects his ranking is because he's not. At the end of the day, it doesn't for me. The only thing that it affects is the fact that Kendrick pushed himself above them because of what he did. Like the battle and just the music he put out, the albums, the videos, the way he did it, all of that pushed him above, not necessarily what Cole did made him drop below him, if you can understand what I'm saying. Like the fact that Cole sat out and Kendrick went, that's what pushed Kendrick above Cole for me. Not because Cole sat out and it dropped Cole down. It's not that for me. I hope I'm explaining that right. I don't know if I'm explaining it right.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I don't
Kendrick
know.
propelled himself above everybody else.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if I agree
like
with
Cole,
what you're saying, though.
Like right now, well, no, I can't say that because I'm biased. Because Cole always been above Drake for me. Like, so I'm just biased because I don't. Not saying I don't like Drake. I recognize Drake, but I'm not a Drake fan. I don't listen to his music like that. Like when I hear him on a song, it's just something, and it's not hate. Like it's just even good songs. Like I cannot listen to it just because. And I think it's the Kendrick shit. Like what Kendrick said. Like how I feel like he's almost an imposter in art in the culture. Like I looked at an interview one day and he was talking about like when I associate black, I associate something. I associate myself. He was saying he's talking about his identity issues basically. He's like I don't get the accolades that other black people might get because I'm not looked at as being black. And he was like, my blacker friends. And I was like, what are you talking about? Your blacker friends? Like, what is that? What does that mean?
You mean like darker in skin tone?
No, I don't think he was talking about that. I think he was talking about like blackness or whatever. Like whatever that is in his mind. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I'm like, that just made me feel, that just gave me the ick. Really,
that sounds understandable to me.
Not to me. It gave me the ick. Like as a black man, if you feel like you're in the culture and I would never hear that. I don't think any black person would say that. Like if they felt like they were in, like, oh, my friend's blacker than me. Like that's a weird ass thing to say. If you consider yourself and not, because I pay attention to what people say and words mean shit. And that I just always remember that. And I was just like, yo, that's wild.
I don't know
that's
if
that's a wild ass thing to say.
I don't know if it is.
It is. Like, I mean, you might not think it is, but it is.
For me,
as a black person, it is.
I think one of the things I like about Drake is that he is like he talks how he talks.
Drake is visiting.
That like you see him talk. You see, like what I'm trying to say is he's not putting on. He's being who he is. He's being himself.
But he's not. That's the thing. Like he doesn't.
But because you saw that interview, you saw how he talked. He didn't try to hide that. He don't try to hide how he talked. Like
no, but he does. Like he'll do a record and say totally different stuff on it.
What you mean?
Like he'll he don't. he'll talk. He'll use slang from other regions. He'll do all that, and that's not how he talks. That's not how he interviews. That's not how he. That's not even what he associates himself with. So it just always seemed fake to me, and that's the thing. Like that's what always turned me off with him. And then when Kendrick started, calling him out on it, I was like, that's the first. I mean, I've always heard it, but that's the first time I've heard somebody on a record like really, really dissect that shit. And I think that's what that flustered him. I think it definitely flustered him. It kind of brought him into the light.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like me personally, I feel like I don't know Drake and I don't know him to judge him on that level to say like he's being fake and stuff. Like I don't know what experiences he has, what he really believes and stuff like that. So I can't say that what he's saying is fake. You know what I mean?
I'm just going by what I see. But yeah, I think he's done. Nah. I don't think it's necessarily done, but it definitely ain't what it was. So, I don't think it can be.
No,
I don't think it ever will be.
But I think it can be like, I think that it can be interesting. Like, if he can come back from this as far as music-wise and put out some heat. And like I said, like if he can communicate the way he feels about things, in a cool way. Like I think it can be interesting. Now, I think like this battle and beef like definitely changed how the perception of all of them. Well, it just it leaves Kendrick in an even higher regard than he was already, in, and it changed how people look at Cole and Drake. And I guess with the most drastic being how people look at Drake. Cole is gonna drop heat. People are gonna love it. And my only thing is like, before this battle, I was saying that Cole was the best. I was saying Cole was the best, like rapper, and now I won't say that.
Yeah, as far as rap, yeah, he's still the best to me. Out of the three, as far as just rapping, but as far as rank, I don't think it's just like any other list. Like a lot of people just ain't ranking it off of rapping skills. It's a lot of stuff, and of course, Kendrick is at the top of everything else. But I think that goes to show, like I don't think that would be necessarily the case if their skills was that far apart. If it was farther apart. If they were farther apart. I don't think, it's not like I'm like, oh, Cole trash him and just rapping. Like, it's not that at all. It's just, for me, I always thought and still think that Cole is the better rapper out of the three. But Kendrick is just the stuff he's done, the run he's been on, which is crazy because it's smart too. And I wonder, I don't know if he looks at it as he got to. He probably does. Because like I said, two things can be true at once about a lot of stuff. And business-wise, like releasing the album right now, this close to the Super Bowl, and possibly another album. I don't know how true that is, but just say it's not true. And this is the only album that we get still. Like this close to the Super Bowl, releasing a whole other album. So you already have these joint songs, which is just a battle, basically. You have the songs you had before that was popping. And then you release a new album like 2 months before the Super Bowl. So you're going to have all this material to pick from. And I'm sure it's going to be a medley of stuff. And I I'm sure he's gonna try to do Not Like Us. If by then, if stuff is all right for him to do it, he gonna do Squabble Up. I'm sure, probably, for sure. He probably gonna do a lot of these songs. Gonna do some of his old music, of course. I would think, maybe, unless he doesn't want to because he did it already. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. If not for anything, it's drawing more eyes to him. He understands the cycle. He understands the cycle, like what the cycle of music and the cycle of everything these days, how fast it is. I think that's another reason he released right now. And he probably just itching. He probably got a lot of music, or he's just recording a lot of stuff. But yeah, come Super Bowl, this thing gonna be full tilt. And probably maybe die down a little bit if he doesn't release something else. Even if he does release something else, it's still gonna be died down a little bit. And when he do the Super Bowl, it's just gonna go back up. Like all his shit is just gonna go back up. That's what I mean. Like business wise, like just having more shit out there. When you do Super Bowl, that's what happens. Like I know artists said that they, 600,000-700,000 streams the next day, like stuff like that, like in one day from doing the Super Bowl, and that equates to money, money for your family, so or whatever.
I think one of the reasons Drake became so popular is because he was relatable to like people who maybe didn't necessarily fit into like this certain perspective or a certain look or personality of what used to be like the most common rapper. I think he just seemed like a regular dude.
Well, yeah, I can get that. Yeah, he does, or he did when he came out. And I think that's the thing. Like that's where it kind of backfired, because I think that's exactly what Kendrick talks about sometimes. He did, when he first came out, but I don't think it is anymore. Like I think he's adopted a lot of stuff. Like he's tried a lot of things. He's like a chameleon. Like he's lived in different places and taken different styles and stuff from different regions. And I don't know if he's that relatable person, but I also think it's the type of music he made too that propelled him, because it was like very mainstream music. Like a lot of his stuff was very, you could change one or two lines and be super radio friendly, stuff like that. And I think that was his formula. He milked it. Nothing lasts forever. Shout out to Ed. Nothing lasts forever.
But I don't know if that always was the formula. Like, because I remember when Headlines came out and it didn't seem like a commercial song or a radio song. Like, remember, like he was, I think I remember you saying like subject matter. You didn't necessarily like what he was talking about, but it seemed like he was just talking about things from his perspective at that time. It wasn't really, that song wasn't commercial, like a traditional commercial song. It seemed like, still seemed like, excuse me. Yeah, even the video, the way that he looked in the video, like, it seemed like he still was an underground rapper in a way, like, if you looked at how he was in that video. I don't know if later on became more mainstream on different albums. But I remember that feeling like that, like maybe wanting him to be more like in your face and commercial. But he was like, as you said, when he first came out, he was a certain way. But what I'm saying is, being in the music industry, living the life of a successful rapper, I don't know how he started to see things or how things changed, or, you know, maybe his perspective changed. He felt what he started portraying, certain things he started portraying, you know. Maybe that is real to him, you know. So I don't know.
But the reason I think it's not is because he doesn't portray that all the time, only in the music. And that's the only reason I say that. That's it. And obviously other people felt that same way, including Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that I'll still be tuned in. He put something out, I'm going to listen, see what it do, hopefully.
And I've never been the audience, so.
Yeah, I've been a fan. And I know,
that's just what it is. Like, that's why I can't really speak on that part.
I've been a fan, and like, to where part. You say, well, you feel that, I believe you, that's your perspective and opinion. You feel like Cole has always been better. I don't agree. I don't see it that way, because Drake was fire, like at rapping, at spitting, you know, like there's certain things that I really enjoyed from him. So
yeah, I don't think he was terrible. Like, he wasn't, you know.
So I wouldn't say like
he was nice.
Like, I think in the past few years before this, especially before this battle, Cole, he was just doing stuff that the other two wasn't doing rapping wise. Like in the past and lately, you know. And so that's why I had him as the best before this battle. But I think for me,
see, Friday Night Lights was a classic. And that just propelled him for me. And that came out so long ago. And he just put it on streaming.
Being the best rapper, it's not just about rapping rapping really well. Like
being the best hip hop artist ain't about rapping really well. I could say that. Being the best rapper is about rapping.
No, because
really well.
It's just not about the skill of it. It's also about what you saying, how you saying it.
The best rapper is the skill. It's being the best rapper.
No, because what I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying. You can say some stuff really well, but it's more about how you say it. You really good at rhyming these words. You really good at. It's also like how you conveying it, the effect you're having on the people that are listening. You know, it's like it's a lot of things. Like, I think Tupac is one of the best rappers, and
I don't.
I do. I do.
I don't. And that's the thing. Like, and he's my favorite rapper.
I think he's one of the best
but I don't
rappers.
think he's one of the best rappers.
Rapping is not about,
as far as skill.
It's not just about the technical stuff. It's not just about that. It's about like what you're saying, you're saying it.
To you, it's not about that.
No.
It's not to everybody. Like, being the best rapper is just what it says. Like, being the best hip hop artist,
if you want
being a great hip hop artist is something different. I mean, it's just like having a top 10 list. Like, you gonna make a top 10 list, but what are you making? Top 10 artists, top 10 hip hop artists, top 10 top 10 rapper.
Future is a great hip hop artist. I think rapper is like, I don't think rapper is just the vocal, how you rhyming. I think it takes more than that. I think it is more than that. I think Tupac is, I don't understand how you can say he's not one of the best rappers.
Because I don't think he is. Lyrically, he's not one of the best rappers.
I think lyrically he is. I think he's
he's very good. But lyrically, there's a lot of rappers ahead of him. for me. But he's my number one rap. Like if I make a top 5 list, he's gonna be on that top 5 list regardless. But he's gonna be close to the top.
I think partly is because his lyrics. When you say, I don't know, maybe you mean something different when you say lyrically, as far as like metaphors and double entendres and stuff like that. His lyrics,
I mean, just
is one of the reasons why he's one of the best rappers.
Technical
what
rap.
he rapped about.
Yeah, technical rap is
technical rap. He was good at that
he's
too.
Not a good technical rapper.
He is. Listen to
If
I Die Tonight and tell me he's not a good. He's not.
I know the whole song in my head.
Okay, you can't tell me that like some people say he couldn't rap or he wasn't good at rap. You can't
I wouldn't
tell
say
me that.
Like I wouldn't say that. Like,
but yeah, to me he's one of the best because.
Poet, but I he's not the best lyricist.
I disagree. Like I think that maybe you're talking about how things are put together and how
all of it.
All of it. Like I think his lyrics is one of the reasons why he's one of the best. What he said, how he said it, how he delivered it, like, and also
he got one of the best deliveries ever. But lyrically, he wasn't one of the top rappers lyrically. He just wasn't.
I disagree with that. Not in my book, he is.
Yeah, just not in mine.
I think there's things that matter more sometimes than lyrical miracle.
No, I agree with that.
And the best rappers, some of the best rappers,
I agree with
are
that.
able to do both. And sometimes they'll choose a song where they don't do the lyrical miracle on purpose. Like Eminem is one of the best rappers, and he's able to do both. Where there's times where it's not the right mood to put the most lyrical miracle in this song at this place. Just say it plain, like communicate it to people, with emotion.
What song has he said plain? I just wonder. But I can't think
what's
of
that one song when he's talking to his daughter? Something like, have you ever loved somebody so much you'd give an arm for? Mm-hmm. Not the emotion. You would literally give an arm for. Stuff like that. He's rapping like Pac in a way to where it's emotion. He ain't trying to be all lyrical and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not lyrical. Like, and he's still rapping. He's still rapping and it's still a good song. But that's not the most lyrically fit song.
Yeah, but that doesn't
album.
necessarily mean like you the most lyrical. That don't mean you the best rapper.
That's exactly what it means.
No, it doesn't.
What do you mean?
No, it doesn't.
That's exactly what being the best rapper means.
No, it doesn't mean that. If it meant that,
I don't know. If it meant that,
the better rappers would be the best rappers in the world.
Some of them are.
No,
like, what are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is being the best rapper. It's like,
like Daylight, Loaded Lux. They some of the best rappers.
They're some of the best battle rappers.
They some of the best rappers.
No,
period.
They're not.
Not battle rappers.
No,
they some of the best rappers.
No, they're not because
like
because it doesn't translate into.
I don't care about that. Like that doesn't matter.
But it matter. It does matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
When you're talking about being the best, like it don't matter.
It does matter.
Oh, it don't matter
yo.
When you talk about being the best rapper.
It does matter. That's like, part of it.
All that doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Not in my book.
When people can enjoy your music, when people can be affected by your music emotionally, when people can dance to your
that's
music.
something else. That's not being the best rapper.
Part of it.
Like
yes,
that's not,
it's part of it.
That's not being the best rapper. Like
yes, it is.
That's
it's part of
totally
it.
different.
No, it's not.
Like that's being the best rap artist or best hip hop artist or best, like you said, you was saying Future, he's not a top hip hop artist.
He is. He is a top hip hop artist. He is. He's not one of the
he's
top.
He's far from
rappers.
the best rappers. Yeah, he's far from.
He is one of the top
rappers.
hip hop artists.
I wouldn't say that.
Why wouldn't you say that? He's one of the biggest hip hop artists.
I don't consider him a top hip hop artist.
and I've enjoyed some of his music, but just the way he raps is that I wouldn't put him as one of the best rappers. But
Why not?
because it's not, you know what it is? It's not traditional rapping.
But in what you're saying, it shouldn't matter.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Like Tupac raps. Like Future, like you know what I'm saying. Future,
But if he delivers lyrics in a way that, you know, is people enjoy, like that's what you sound like you saying.
no, it don't. Like Tupac, no, you can't. I'm not. No, because you can't say I'm.
No,
I'm not
I'm saying it's gotta
you
be the
can't-
same for every artist. Like it can't have different
It's not.
categories.
It's not. Like you're not. You can't say that Future and Tupac are doing the same. They're not.
No, they're not doing the same thing.
Okay. So,
But they could still be two of the top artists,
but
but they're not nowhere close to in rapper. Like, I
Tupac
don't know
is.
how you can
Tupac is one of the best rappers.
No, I'm
ever.
saying them two
Oh yeah.
in rapping.
Yeah,
so you
I mean,
can,
it's
you can
different.
distinguish that. Why is it different? That's what I'm saying. Why is it different?
Because listen to Future. It's
but
not
that's
the
point.
same.
Why is it different? Like
What you mean? Why is it? You know the difference when you listen to Future because he's
exactly. You know the difference between Tupac and somebody else that's more lyrical than him. That's what I'm
okay.
saying.
And Tupac is
That's what I'm
better
saying.
than a lot of them. Name somebody.
Lyrically, he's not better than
Overall,
he's not better than the top.
the best
the top
rapper.
five
It's not
right
just
now.
about lyrically. It's not just about as far as when you're saying lyrically, because I know what you mean. It's not the lyrics you're talking about. You're talking about how you put stuff together technically. That
No, I'm talking
doesn't
about
make
the
the
lyrics.
best
I'm
rapper.
talking about the lyrics.
Okay, if you're talking
and
about the
what you
lyrics,
putting
Tupac
together.
is definitely one of the best in
Together
the world. The best ever.
and lyrics and
And he's
putting
great
together.
at putting it together too.
He's all right at putting it together. He's not great.
Listen to If I Die Tonight. I could go through songs. Listen to
You ain't gonna go through more songs than me,
Hellraiser.
so I'm just saying, like you ain't heard more stuff than I have of Tupac, so you ain't gotta go through it with me. Like I already know the stuff, but I'm just saying he's never been.
You don't know what I heard. What you talking about?
I
went
already
through
know.
them all. I went through them all.
I got mixtapes. I got stuff that ain't released. 10 tapes
But
worth
so,
of stuff that ain't
just-
released.
To me, I feel like being the best rapper is not just about like.
But we talking about two
It's
different
not that.
things. So I mean, we ain't gonna get nowhere. And this is the reason why lists don't work. Because unless you have extreme criteria like that list that came out.
But look
not
at
too
the
long
list.
ago.
They look at several. They don't look
That's
at.
what I'm saying. It's
who's best
criteria.
at-
It depends on the
technically.
criteria.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not talking.
So
They're
for
talking
your
about certain
criteria,
things.
the only thing that matters is how somebody
It's two
technically
different
raps.
things. It's two different things. That's what I'm saying. Like as a rapper, being a rapper and being the best rapper, yeah, that's all that matters.
No,
is
it's not.
Is your
It's
delivery
not.
and
Somebody-
your technical
It's not.
prowess.
It's not. Because somebody real technical can rap against somebody who knows how to effectively communicate with the crowd and lose. Somebody can rap not as
That's
technical.
in a battle. I'm not talking about in a battle. I'm talking about straight skills. Cole dropped out of battle, and I'm saying he's better than them two. Like that doesn't matter. Like that don't matter. It is. I'm talking about pure skills when I'm talking about this subject. Like I'm talking about pure skills. Skills, delivery, lyrics, how you put them lyrics together, how it's arranged. That.
So I think that Kendrick is a better rapper than Cole. When you put it that
And
way,
I ain't mad. I ain't mad at you for thinking that.
Here, this is why. Because skills is really about more than technically rapping, how it sounds, how it lands. If you can communicate a message, all of that is encompassed in skills. Like, it's a lot of stuff. It ain't just I'm nice, I'm ill at this, I'm nice. Like, that's great to listen to, but also how do you make somebody feel? You know what I mean? How can you make a song?
That's a different thing.
Can your music stick with somebody?
That's a different thing to me.
I think it's all encompassed in
I mean, it can be all encompassed depending
rapper.
on what your list is, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that.
Okay. All right.
That's just not what I'm talking about. Like, you know, that's a
when we say on the term best rapper, we disagree on how we describe that or our criteria.
We disagree on how you get there.
What you mean?
How you get there? Like, we disagree on how you get to that best rapper.
On how you get there? What you mean?
Like the criteria.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
That's what I said. It's the same thing.
I'm tired of the Tupac slander, yo.
Man, ain't nobody slandering Tupac.
No, but some people do. I was watching one of the most popular podcasts in the world, and they talk like Tupac couldn't rap. It's blasphemous.
Well, I wouldn't say he can't rap, but like I said, he's not the most skilled.
Okay.
That's just what it is.
And, and to me, what I realize is sometimes
and you're looking at everything. What I'm talking about.
Sometimes that doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're saying that it doesn't matter to you.
No,
that doesn't matter to you.
No,
everything matters.
I didn't say that doesn't matter.
No, you're saying it doesn't matter in that because
no, I'm not. No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that. Somebody who's not skilled at all. Yeah,
there is people that are not skilled at all, but still convey their messages. Still got good music. Like, there's people out there like Future. Like, I don't think he's
and I don't call him the best rapper.
No, I know, but
Tupac was one of the best rappers.
Still plays.
I think that's fair to say. Tupac was one of the best rappers. You know, I'm not saying he's the most like lyrically technical, and he wasn't, but he wasn't completely devoid of that either.
No, I didn't say that. I just said, you know, he wasn't where other people was to me.
Okay, but that doesn't.
And he's still my top favorite rapper. He's still my top because of how he made me feel, how he delivered stuff. But as far as rapper,
said, he's still your top rapper.
Yeah, I said
because of how he made
my
you
top
feel.
artist because of how he.
No,
made
you
me
didn't
feel.
say that.
Well, rapper. Let me put rapper. Top rapper. He's my top rapper because how he made me feel.
Case closed.
But he's not the top rapper.
Dismissed.
No, ain't no case closed because he's not the top rapper. That's what I said.
No, rewind the tape. He's your top rapper.
Mine. As I just said, he's not though. He's not the top rapper. Like, he's not a good rapper. He's not a great rapper. Let me say that.
Yes, he is.
Not that he's not a good rapper. He's not. No, I can't even say he's not a great rapper. He's just not.
Okay.
He's not on other people's level. And put it that way. He's not on the level of people that I put below him, as far as skills.
Okay.
He's not.
But that doesn't make him not one of the best rappers.
I never
got him
said that.
above other people.
I never said that. I never said he wasn't.
Yes, you did. Oh,
I said he's not the greatest rapper. I said he's not the top.
I said he's one of the. That's all I've been saying. He's one of the best rappers.
And I said he's not. That's what I'm saying. He's not. Technically, he's not one of the best rappers.
Technically,
he's.
Okay, let me say something. Let me
show you.
Let me say something.
I'll show you.
Technically, you said technically, like far as the technical. Yo,
not just
go
technical.
To TV.
No, not just,
we be
not just technically like that, like technician, like what Royce do. Not just that. I'm saying like his lyrics. A lot of his lyrics were plain and rudimentary, but his delivery.
I don't know if I say rudimentary.
His delivery came up
But playing can be a good
that
thing.
Might be disrespectful.
Playing can be a great thing.
Might be disrespectful, but
playing can get through. You could be too technical and lose somebody.
You could, but that don't matter when I'm talking about
it does.
How you rap. Like
it does, yo.
If you are technical,
audience matters. Audience matters.
I'm not talking about the audience. I could give a fuck about.
You talking about
that.
rapping blind in a black room?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's the point. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I said it's some of the best battle rappers that are better than these fucking hip hop artists.
Okay, if you want to put it in that context, then.
But that's the point. That's what I've been saying.
That's what I've been talking about.
Well, that's what I've been saying.
About.
That's what I've been saying the whole time. I just told you he's my number one rapper. He's my favorite rapper ever. But I don't think he was the best rapper lyrically. I don't think he was the best lyrical rapper.
And I'm not saying that either. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see what I'm saying.
And like I said, he's always been my top because I feel like he saved my life. And that's the thing. Like with his lyrics, with his plain ass lyrics. Like, I mean, that's just, you know, that's why I agree with you, because that is a factor when looking at everything, which is the reason I feel like Kendrick is on top, which I said that before, because of what he's done, like the scope of it. But fuck this shit, we done. It's like, nah.
He said people,
he's not pretending.
Yeah, I think he said something like people were mad at him because he didn't pretend. Perspective, like, I don't know all the ins and outs of their situations. I've heard stories and stuff like that, you know. I've heard people say certain things about Drake and say he's done certain things, you know, behind the scenes, and that's why, and saying he's created enemies and he's slept with people's wives and girlfriends and stuff. No, I'm a fan of music and hip hop, and I don't know the ins and outs of their lives, and just from how I've enjoyed them as a hip hop fan, like, I'm still, you know, I can still enjoy music from both of them, and I can still have a respect for both of them. Like me, you know, when I'm looking at the music, I don't know them personally.
Yeah, you know, I can't really speak on that because I ain't never been like a real big Drake fan. I used to like him when he first came out, and maybe that's why, because I felt like he was skilled and he felt underground to me.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the stuff I like was mixtape stuff, so it was just straight rap stuff. Like, he was just rapping. I never got down with like his songs and singing and stuff. I can recognize that they were good and the melodies were good, but I don't know. I always try to figure that out, like why I didn't like him, or I can't even say I didn't like him. I don't know him not to like him, but I just didn't listen to him. It was, like I said, it was just something about him I didn't get down with. Just seeing different things and seeing things that he said and done, and it just turned me off. Just like anything else, like it's one of the reasons why I try not to follow a lot of people that I'm fans of. Not that I was ever a super fan of his, but there's people I'm fans of, and sometimes they start saying shit online on social media, and I'll be like, let me stop following him if I don't like him no more. Like, if I don't want to listen to that album anymore. And that's what happened with Drake. He was just shit that I've seen and said over the years and just eroded away. Like, after, I think the last thing that I liked was, well, not the last thing I liked, but the last thing I really truly listened to was Forever. I mean, that wasn't just him, but yeah, I don't know. But I know one thing. When my sister yesterday, she's a big ass Drake fan. When she was like, "Man, his career might be over," I was like, "Yo, that's big for you." The dude was just chill and then release something later, come out with a banger, and everybody forget about it. He said, "But you gotta do this shit." That's what she said, and I'm like, "Damn." And she's a Drake fan. Like, she's a fan. So
I felt those things too. Like
I definitely felt that.
But now I feel like he still might, if he play it a certain way. I mean, I think musically he still can possibly release some good music.
I think we're gonna wrap it up. This whole episode was basically about Kendrick and Drake.
And Tupac. What the dude said to Ludacris when Ludacris was at dinner that time. Don't forget Tupac.
Don't forget the Tupac.
Don't forget Tupac. Never forget Tupac.
Never forget Tupac. Never. But yeah, if you listen till now, I thank you. And thank you for joining us. And we're gonna get up out of here. This has been What We Thinking.
It was funny. What did Ludacris say? He said, I can't forget. Like, you keep reminding me.
So we out of here, people.
Peace.
You know, life ain't over. Life ain't over. Life ain't over. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.